Hi there, people. Welcome to our class number 56, second to last class because this is about to finish, class number 56. And, well, thank you very much, of course, to Corporación Municipal de San Miguel for this wonderful space that we still have. And thank you very much to each one of you for all the effort that you have made during all these weeks and during all these classes. Excellent job, excellent attitude. Welcome to our class number 56.
But I'll tell you, babe, I'm better than before. And I could sometimes run in your head.
Hi there, people. Welcome to our class number 56. Today we are going to be focused on names of subway stations and names of cities. This is really important because when we usually give an address, we ask for an information, we give a direction or we receive a direction, we need to understand the instructions, we need to follow the instructions. And sometimes the names of the city and the names of the stations, they in London, especially in this city of the world, in London they pronounce these words in a very special way, in a very particular way, which is the London way. So that's what we are going to be centered today. We're going to focus our job today on that. And we're going to start names of subway stations and also names of cities. So let's get started. Names of subway stations. As you can see, the subway system in England, it's quite complex. Maybe not as complex. No, I think it's even more complex than the one that we have here in Chile, right? But the subway is not called the subway in England. What is the name that we usually use for that? The underground. The underground train, or simply the tube. How are you gonna go home tonight? I'm gonna take the tube. I'm gonna take the tube, or I'm gonna go there by tube. So that's the way to refer to the underground station. Subway is in the United States mainly, but in England you can find some people that will call it subway, but mainly it's underground, or the tube. How do you pronounce this? I know that many soccer fans will say, "Oh, that's Tottenham Court Road." Well, I'm sorry to say, guys, it's not Tottenham. The soccer team that you have supported for many years is not called Tottenham. It's called Tottenham. Tottenham. And I know that many of you will complain and say, no, but it's always Tottenham. I know that I like the Tottenham soccer team, and I know that it's pronounced Tottenham. No, in London it's called Tottenham. So in this case would be Tottenham Court Road, right? Tottenham. Tottenham. Not Tottenham, never. Tottenham Court Road. Right, let's go to the second one. Piccadilly Circus. It's not Piccadilly Circus, please. No, it's not Circus. It's Piccadilly Circus. You put your mouth like if you were going to say an right? Elephant, but you said circus, circus. Almost like with a smile, almost. Piccadilly Circus. If you go to Piccadilly Circus, you won't find a circus. No, because circus is the British way to talk about a roundabout. A synonym for roundabout or a traffic circle in the United States, a roundabout is a circus. So Piccadilly Circus is the name that receives the roundabout that is located in Piccadilly. Piccadilly Circus is always crowded. Well, before the pandemic times, of course, that it was absolutely crowded all the time. all day and all night, the whole day, the whole night. Why? Because there are many stores and bars and theaters. Nightlife is absolutely active in this place, which is Piccadilly Circus. It's the center of nightlife in London. And as you have been seeing, as have you been watching on the news, little by little Piccadilly Circus is being waking up little by little. But because in England the things are, in this moment, October 2020, are really complicated. So Piccadilly Circus. Repeat with me, Piccadilly Circus. Right. What is this? Oxford Circus. The same thing. There are no circus here. Oxford, you stress the word in the first syllable. Oxford, not Oxford, please. Oxford Circus. Oxford Circus. Now you. Okay, one more time. Oxford Circus. Perfect. Let's continue. Many people have, this is the airport, okay, the name that the airport receives in London. Many people say Heathrow. Heathrow. No, it's not two words, it's just one. It's not Heathrow, it's Heathrow. Heathrow. Now you. Heathrow. Perfect. So let's continue. How do you think it is called, this one? Euston. Euston. I have heard some student that said that. That's the Euston or the Euston. No. Euston. Euston. It's like the city in the United States which is called Houston. Houston, Texas. We all know that because of the movies, because of the series, because of Netflix and many other possibilities, and Amazon Prime. We know Houston, Texas because of that. But this is not Houston. It doesn't have an H. It's Euston. Euston. Now you. Right. Euston. And of course, as you can see here, it's a subway station. Euston Station. Very good. How do you pronounce this? This is interesting. How do you pronounce this? Because some students said, teacher, you made a mistake there. You have the name together or stick with. The last name is Marylebone. And yeah, even though I love the sound of Marylebone, I would love to be able to change the pronunciation of these words, of this city, this part of the city, this neighborhood. But it's not Marylebone, it's Marylebone. Marylebone. You don't pronounce the Y. Marylebone. Okay, not Marylebone. Marylebone. And the Y, this one, wait, this one goes home, to the house. Okay, let's continue. Paddington. Paddington. Just like the bird, right? And the movie Paddington. Very good. One more time with me. Paddington. Paddington. Perfect. Let's continue. Usually, this is very confusing for most of the people because usually you say Holborn. Holborn. Right? Holborn. But it's not like that. It's not Holborn. It's Holborn. Holborn. Now repeat after me. Holborn. That's right. Exactly. Holborn. You don't pronounce the L. Alright. Shall we continue? Yeah. Let's continue. This is very simple, and I put it here because some people said Covent Garden. I don't know, they stress the syllable where it should be. So It's Covent Garden. If you go to London, go to Covent Garden, because you will find, well, if the pandemic ends, right, or at least if we have the possibility of walking by and buy some things. If you have the chance, go, because you can find a lot of it's like what we call in Chile a flea market. Flea markets. Okay, so it's like a free market where you can buy and sell many things like books, music, some souvenirs, right? As you can see here, there are many different people selling, not only in the first floor here, but also in the second one. There are many people, many stores that you can visit. Covent Garden. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is interesting. How do you think it is pronounced? And this here I want to stop a little bit. Why? Because for many people it's hard to believe that, how do you pronounce this word? How do you pronounce this city? How do you pronounce this subway station? I have to accept that for many years, many years, much more of what I want to recognize, I thought that this city was called Greenwich. Greenwich. But no, about 5 years ago, only I have discovered, and there's no shame in recognizing your mistakes. And if any of my students that I taught you that it was Greenwich, I'm sorry, it's not Greenwich. This city, this subway station, this place in England is called, are you prepared? Yep, it's called Greenwich. Greenwich, never Greenwich. Even though some people from United States, they may call it Greenwich, this city is British, and the British people that lives in the city call it Greenwich. Greenwich. Now you? Exactly, Greenwich. Let's continue. This is not so difficult, right? How do you pronounce this place in the city, and also its subway station, of course? South Kensington, said a student. South Kensington, no, South Kensington. South Kensington. Now repeat after me. South Kensington. South Kensington. And it's not South Quesito. Okay, some students said South Quesito. No, it's not Quesito, little cheese. No, it's South Kensington. Kensington. Perfect pronunciation, very good. What is this? This street, it's where Harrods, which is one of the biggest stores, especially clothes stores, exist in England, and it's on the street of Knightsbridge. Repeat after me. Knightsbridge. Knightsbridge. Now in two different parts. Knightsbridge. Knightsbridge. The K, you don't pronounce it. You only use it when you know that you are like not a gentleman, the equivalent of gentleman, but we in a suit, wearing an armor. That's a knight. Okay, it's a nobiliary title. Knightsbridge. This one is very interesting too, because many people said, how do you call it? Vauxhall or Vauxhall. Vauxhall. Now it's not Vauxhall. How do you think it is? Give me possibilities. What do you think? What do you think? Give me one, give me two, give me three. Okay, ready? This subway station, it's called Vauxhall. Vauxhall. It's not Vauxhall, no, Vauxhall. Okay. And this one is very interesting, absolutely, especially for all of us that we are fans of Harry Potter. King's Cross St. Pancras. King's Cross subway station. It's the King's Cross train station that is described and filmed in the books and in the movies of Harry Potter. So King's Cross St. Pancras. Why it's called King's Cross St. Pancras? Because here there is you divide the people. All those that wants to go to King's Cross take, for example, the train that goes to the right, and all the people that goes to St. Pancras, they take the left. So it's like a specific place in King's Cross St. Pancras where the people that travels usually in the subway divides one in one direction or the other towards King's Cross or towards St. Pancras. Okay, shall we go? Let's go. How do you call this? As you can see here is the Waterloo Underground Station. Waterloo. What do you think the first time that you hear Waterloo? Usually you may think about this guy. How is it called? Napoleon, right? Napoleon Bonaparte. And Waterloo, it's called the underground station that it is in this city. As you can see here, Waterloo Underground Station. Okay? So repeat with me, after me, sorry. Waterloo. Waterloo. This one is a little bit more difficult, right? Because it's called Stratford and Shepherd's Bush. Stratford and Shepherd's Bush. Very good. This is interesting too, because usually you may think that this is called, or do you pronounce, how do you think you pronounce this? Tell me, I'm listening. No, I'm not really listening, but anyways, an exercise, so say it please. How do you think it is pronounced? Right. Southwark, right? Southwark. But it's not. This is not the real pronunciation. Southwark, or the city that you call Southwark, is Southwark. Southwark. Okay, Southwark. That's the way it is. Why? I have no idea, people. I just know that it is like that. It's like the same when somebody asks you, for example, if you know how to use PowerPoint, if you know how to use Word, if you know how to use Excel, right? But you know how to use it, but you don't know how to program it. Do you know the inside? So I know how to use the words in English, I know how to use the grammar, but I am not a language researcher, so I haven't dived enough to understand, right, these kind of things, or to invest time. This is an investment of time. Okay, how do we call this? Embankment. Embankment. Very good. How do you call this? A glue. It's not called borough. It is not borough. So how do you pronounce it? Borough. And this GH by the end, they're silent. You don't pronounce it. It's just borrow. Borrow. Why is it important to learn vocabulary? Why is it important to learn this vocabulary? Wait a minute, please. Why is it so important? As I was telling you at the beginning, it is really important to know how to pronounce these words, because when you go to a city, when you ask for directions, when you receive directions, or when you read directions, you need to know the sound of these places. Remember that if you take a taxi, you take a cab, and you say, "Please take me to Greenwich," they will look at you like, "What are you talking about? There's no place called Greenwich here." "No, no, I want to go to Greenwich." "No, there's no Greenwich here. Maybe you want to go to Greenwich." So you will have a bad time, very ashamed because you didn't pronounce well. You were just showing off all your English with the taxi driver, and you say, "Okay, man, please take me to Greenwich." He will look at you like this guy or this girl doesn't know too much about English. So that's why you have to learn how to pronounce it, Greenwich. That is beside that. Okay, yeah. Maybe in Chile, to some foreigners, we treat them well. But if you go to England, you will find as good as bad people and some indifferent people. So if you ask them to speak slowly because you need to understand, they won't do it. They will speak even faster. Just to show off and to feel very good because they are absolutely genius in the language, right? So why is it important to learn this vocabulary? Because, right, we need to learn how to use this vocabulary in different contexts, right? In this case, we are talking about subway stations. Other recommendations: try to watch. There are many videos on internet that talks about this. It's really it's free, of course, that they are on YouTube, so it's free. You can use them. Use also the possibility now that you have Netflix in your houses. Most of you have Netflix, and if you haven't, don't worry. YouTube is always there to help, right? Because YouTube is a social network. Believe it or not, it's a social network, and you can use it as like that, and you will find a lot of information and material on YouTube. So please don't hesitate. If you don't have Netflix or if you don't have too much money but you have a cell phone with internet, you can go to YouTube and you can practice with all the material that you can find there. Other recommendations: as I was telling you, you can use Netflix and you can change the subtitles. Listen to the series or the movie in English and put the subtitles in English too. I really suggest you to do that, because in that way you will train your ear. You will train your ears to make the difference between words that are very similar, or maybe between two different accents, because you will have to face accents. Accents are part of your life. Accents are here to stay. If you, for example, you put on YouTube English speeches with big subtitles, you will find people from United States, people from England, people from South Africa speaking English, people from India, people from China, people from Mexico, from Chile, right? From Argentina, Italy, France, French people speaking English, right? German people speaking English. So there are many accents that you will have to face. Russian people speaking English. That's a terrible accent when it's strong, because it's difficult to comprehend. I've worked with Russian people, and it's really difficult to understand their English at the beginning because you're not used to that kind of pronunciation. You're not used to deal with that those kind of sounds. Okay, so that's why you have to train every day. Just like if you were a musician or if you are a soccer player, they train every day. So you have to practice your language, your English, every day. At least 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but every day from Monday to Friday. Leave the space free on weekends and on holidays, and just study the weekdays. Why? Because in that way we prevent that you're not gonna start hating English, because you have to rest. You need to take a break from the learning. So your brain can assimilate the information. Okay, so that's why you have to practice every day. So now quickly we're going to go sorry, to the beginning, but in a quick review, we're going to see all these cities and subway stations just to refresh your memory. Okay, this one, how is it called? Tottenham Court Road. Repeat after me, please. Tottenham Court Road. Tottenham Court Road. Tottenham Court Road. Piccadilly Circus. Piccadilly Circus. Piccadilly Circus. Oxford Circus. Oxford Circus. Oxford Circus. Heathrow. Repeat after me. Heathrow. Heathrow. Houston. Remember that it's not like in the United States, it's not Houston, Texas. No, it's not Houston because it doesn't have an H. It's just the E, right? So it's Houston. Houston. Houston Station. How we don't have to pronounce it? We don't have to say Marylebone. No. Marylebone, never. Remember that I told you I would love to that this place would be called Marylebone because I think it sounds stylish, sounds fantastic, or fantastisch, as a German friend said. But it's called Marylebone. Marylebone. The Y, you don't pronounce the Y. Marylebone. Right? Let's continue. How do you call this? Paddington. Remember, be careful. It's not Paddington like in Spanish. No, it's Paddington. Paddington. The T makes the difference. British guy would say the T makes the difference. The 5 o'clock tea makes the difference. Okay, next one. Holborn. Okay, once more. Holborn. It's not Holborn. No. Holborn. Okay. All right. Let's continue. The marvelous place, which is Covent Garden. It's not Covent Garden, please. It's just Covent Garden. In the first syllable, you have to stress the word, the voice. Covent Garden. Covent Garden. So if you're in London, if you want to go to this place, you only have to get into the taxi and say, "Taxi driver, please take me to Covent Garden." Covent Garden. You don't pronounce the T. Usually people from London don't pronounce the T. They just say Covent Garden and not Covent Garden. If you pronounce the T, it's not wrong, but people will look at you like, oh, you're not from here, right? So you are a tourist. You will expose yourself that you're a tourist because British usually don't pronounce all the letters. So it's Covent Garden. Covent Garden. Sorry. Covent Garden. This one. Do you remember Greenwich? Yeah, Greenwich. No, Greenwich. Greenwich is the subway station and the city. Greenwich. Greenwich. South Kensington. Repeat after me. South Kensington. South Kensington. Last time. South Kensington. Knightsbridge. Knightsbridge. Repeat after me. Knightsbridge. 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 How we don't have to pronounce it. How is the way we don't have to pronounce it? Vauxhall. 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 No. No, never. It's Vauxhall. Really, I love this word. I don't know why, but I love the way it is written, and maybe the fact that it has an X on it. Maybe, I don't know, but I love this word really and how it sounds. Vauxhall. Vauxhall. King's Cross, St. Pancras. King's Cross, St. Pancras. King's Cross, St. Pancras. Perfect. The place where Napoleon Bonaparte lost his last battle, Waterloo. 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 Not Waterloo, that's Spanish. Waterloo. Okay? Good. And Stratford and Shepherd's Bush. Stratford and Shepherd's Bush. Okay. And this is interesting. Do you remember how to pronounce it? Remember, okay, I'm gonna give you a clue. It's not, you don't pronounce this word like Southwark. No, it's not Southwark. It's Southwark. Southwark. One more time. Southwark. Embankment. Repeat after me. Embankment. Embankment. Borough. 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 And the questions, why is it important to learn this vocabulary? Well, as I told you, do you remember? Because if you are giving a direction, if you're receiving a direction, or you are reading a direction, you need to recognize and understand the sounds of it, the sounds of them, okay, of the word, of the city, or the subway station that you are listening to. So people, I really love your disposition, I really love your enthusiasm, and if you had made it this far, you're a warrior, a learning warrior, because it has been a long road until this moment. Now we are in the class 56. Imagine 56 classes, and we started with the classes in Spanish. Then little by little we started to change the language, and now we have 100% full English spoken classes, right? So congratulations, keep on working in English and keep on working with English every day, remember, from Monday to Friday, but leave for resting Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, because sometimes you need a break. If you feel that you start suffering while you're learning, you're not enjoying it, take a break. As long as you need it, take a break, because it's important not to feel frustrated too much. Okay, so people, one more time, it has been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time and disposition. Stay home, stay safe. See you next class. Bye bye.
Sometimes running ahead. sometimes running ahead.